Hello guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to HP to XP. I am Chris, the Dungeon Master for our Adventures in Umbranthal campaign. Before we jump into our story tonight, we have a few acknowledgements and announcements. First, be sure you check out our very own Mirage at Altamirage on Instagram and Twitter for some awesome art, cartoons, comics. Their art is absolutely amazing and they have captured some really great moments from our campaign. Secondly, our producer Sorcerer is still under the weather, so we are all sending him our love and good vibes to get well soon. So, as a reminder, you can find us live on Twitch every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, for our campaign stream, and on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern, where we talk about world building, explore Dungeon Master tools, and more. This Saturday, we're going to be having a roundtable with the cast, so bring your questions. If you miss us live, hop over to YouTube and check out our VODs, and please use the links in our chat and our descriptions to connect with us on social media, our Discord server, and on our website. But now, the adventure begins. Welcome to Umbranthal.
Journey to Umbranthal is produced for mature audiences. The topics and roleplay may be challenging, including instances of violence, power, and race. Our chat and comments sections are a place to respectfully engage with these topics and offer us your feedback.
Having arrived in Hosties to retrieve the cleric Seveth, our adventurers found themselves overnighting at the Tucked Inn. Fenn, intrigued by the promise of information about the Wood Elf diaspora, ventured into the evening, with Anara close behind, to meet with the refugee barkeep Kea. Overhearing rumblings of revolution, Fenn inquired about a landlord, Anara, seemingly the focus of the workers' hostilities. This immediately brought him under suspicion. But he avoided conflict by stealthily slipping away from two pursuers. He, and in turn Anara, safely returned to the inn, where the remainder of the night passed without event. Morning came, and the party set out to escort Seveth to her hometown. They moved with little rest, seeking to avoid camping on the road again, a choice that was affirmed when they came upon 5 bodies from the party they had met en route to Hosties, seemingly casualties of a roadside attack. Veirona, checking for blood trails, determined it was unlikely that any survivors would be found close at hand. At Seveth's insistence, they buried the dead. Resuming their track north, a voice called out for help, catching Fenn's notice and pulling them off the road once more. A teenage boy lay gravely wounded with a dead companion at his side. Fenn, finding the boy, was surprised by an owlbear crashing out of the underbrush. Springing into action, the budding teammates leapt to the attack, aided by Seveth. Fenn, wounded by the beast, was ultimately saved when a previously invisible Maple emerged into view, decapitating the owlbear with her great axe. The boy, healed enough to travel north with the party, was escorted to Burrell's home. There, Seveth assured the team that she would secure the boy's return home. The party found lodging at the newly named Ambassador Inn. Preparing to retire for the evening, Veirona learned more of Maple's uncertain history. Meanwhile, Ahzyris went into the woods to explore the limits of his power, and was spoken to by a voice from his past. The party settled into rest before setting off for Mysa, a town that now holds the promise of work, of information, and perhaps answers for some members of the party. Maple, as you sleep, your dreams are filled with visions of a bear standing on its hind legs. It towers over you. And what begins as a vicious roar becomes a voice in your head. You are chosen. And the bear drops to all fours and begins to pad its way towards you, pushing up against your hand with its head. You feel this shoving and wake to discover something skittering under your hand, and in your head you hear a small squeaking voice. You're crushing me!
Oh God, bud. Oh God, I am so sorry. Is Cloud next to Maple?
Everybody is still asleep. So,
okay.
Yes.
Maple does not realize she's talking in her head right now. So she will very quickly jostle Cloud awake. Cloud, I'm so sorry, bud, but I'm like a beaver between two sticks here. I have no idea what's going on. I think you might have upset one of the mice, and this one's talking to me, bud. Do you hear him?
What's happening, Maple? There's so many words right
now. Let me
go! Maple will let the mouse go. That one was talking to me, bud. I swear to goodness, it was in my ear just now. I'm not used to this kind of thing. You're the magic expert around here, you know? I have no idea what's going on, but I know it was talking to me, and I don't know how I did it, but I did it, bud. I did it, and a bear was talking to me in my sleep too, bud, and I'm very confused right now.
I feel like Cloud is probably more awake at this point and looking at Maple, just like squinting in the dark. Probably doesn't see anything of note.
No, as far as, so where would you be in relation to Maple? What side of Maple would you have been sleeping on?
I'm assuming that if we're in the loft above the inn, that Maple is in a hammock above Cloud again.
Maple, you are on the ground because your hammock was used to make a makeshift bath. So you are on the ground next to Cloud. So from Maple, from where you are at, would Cloud be able to see the mouse?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Maple's probably outside of the wall, and Maple had the mouse trapped between like her and Cloud.
Okay. So yes, Cloud, what you can see is a small mouse that is darting its head back and forth. It looks at you, and then it looks up to Maple and is just making a chittering noise. And Maple, what you can hear is, "Protect me! That one killed my family!"
I think Maple will pick up the mouse and go, it's okay, little bud. Can you tell me what's going on? I'm not sure. I've never been able to understand a little bud before. It's very new for me. How you doing? You okay? I'm sorry about one of your friends.
Protect me from that one! And it's kind of gesturing with a hand towards Cloud.
I think Maple will stand up. We determined the hayloft is tall enough for us to stand. Okay. Yeah. Stand up and look around. Are there any other ones of you, or are you the only one?
I'm the only one left.
Are you talking to a mouse? Is this what's happening right now?
I think so, bud. I have no other. I mean.
And what does the mouse want?
It wants me to keep it safe, I think. And Maple will put the mouse on her shoulder if it will stay.
He skitters up and darts a look over at Cloud very sternly, as stern as a mouse can look at one, and takes up residence comfortably on your shoulder.
Okay. I think Maple will respectfully pick up Cloud's staff and look at Cloud and say, are you going to be responsible with this today, bud? I mean, mice have never spoken to me before, so I think it's kind of important that we keep this under wraps today. What do you think?
Look, if they stay out of my bed, I won't touch them. Easy peasy.
Okay.
Tell your mouse friend. What's its name? What's your mouse friend's name? This is very strange.
Oh, jeez, little bud. What is your name?
Aaron!
Oh, Aaron, that's so nice. You know what? You're more than welcome to walk around with me today. Otherwise, I'd be more than happy to drop you off outside. Are you with anyone? Do you belong anywhere? I can get places a lot quicker than you can, I feel like, on those poor little legs of yours.
I don't know if there's anyone still outside. You drug all of our house in here. I don't know if anybody's still left out there.
Maple is visibly upset, and frantically peers over the side where the ladder is, suddenly noticing truly what a mess she made, in making the bed. Well, bud, you know, if there's anything I can do to make it up to ya, I'm so incredibly sorry. I really am.
Just protect me from them.
Oh, okay. You know what? I think we're gonna go ahead and head downstairs. Claude, I'm so sorry for waking you up early, bud. I know you like to sleep in. I really am sorry.
I'll just go back to sleep now. Cloud will just go back to sleep. Very confused, but happy to go back to sleep.
Okay.
So yeah, Maple will head downstairs, just trying to get out of the area.
Okay. When you get down, the mouse, Aaron, looks at you. Thank you for protecting me.
Sure, bud. You know, it's the least I could do. I know we hurt a couple of your buds, and I don't know how I could make that up to you, but I'd be more than happy to share my breakfast. They have some really good bread here.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Is River up yet?
We are now back in Seva, so it would be Veas.
Oh,
but yes,
that's right.
It is on for morning, so yes, sun is up.
Okay.
It is late enough in the day that Veas would be up and in the inn.
Okay. I think Maple will probably sit if she's just by herself at the counter. And she'll tell Aaron, hey bud, I'm not sure if you're allowed on the counter. You know, I don't know when the last time you washed your paws was. So I think we're gonna keep you on my shoulder. I'll just pass you things as we go. How does that sound?
Okay.
All right. So Maple will accept breakfast and share it with Aaron.
Okay.
That's how she'll spend her morning.
Yeah. Veas looks at you oddly as he presents breakfast to you, seeing the mouse on your shoulder, but makes no comment. And you and Aaron engage in a wonderful breakfast. The rest of you awake, take care of your morning ablutions, and gather down in the tavern. What's your plan for the day?
I think we can head out. But I don't know what anyone else has to do.
I think that'd probably be a good idea. No sense hanging around here too long.
Sorry, DM, are we assuming we already took care of breakfast and everything as well, or?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. If you particularly want to see what's on the menu, we can, but if you're good, then yes, you've had breakfast, you are ready to begin your day.
I think Maple will go around back and deposit the mouse back in the hay and say, you know, bud, thanks. That was really nice what you did for me this morning. I didn't know I could do this before, so it's nice knowing that I'm growing along with our journey. It feels really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I hope you find some buds. We might be back, we might not. You know, who knows where this thing's gonna take us, eh? I got a lot of places to be and a lot of time to do it. So it was nice meeting you.
Just keep the cat away from me.
Yeah, Claude will not be a problem for you in the future, bud. You're gonna do just fine. Here's some bread for the road.
Thank you.
Maple will leave a small bit before she heads and meets up with the others so they can head out.
Okay. Very good. All right, so you are going to go ahead and get on the road to Mysa, correct?
Correct.
Yes, and I will cast mage armor on myself before we go.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a marching order for the trip. We will assume that unless you tell me otherwise, that is the travel order for the day. So, who's up
Then
front?
again, will rock point.
Okay.
Cloud would like to be up in front with Fenn this time.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
Ahzyris would like to be in the middle,
Okay.
as usual.
Ditto.
Nara's gonna hang out with Ahzyris.
Okay.
I think Mabel's gonna hang out with Veirona today.
Okay.
Okay.
Rhys is going to hang out in the back. He's going to bring up the rear.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So you all begin to head down the road. You are heading west out of Seva. You know from previous discussions that you have about a day and a half's journey to get to Mysa. The day is a nice, bright spring morning. You can kind of feel the crispness in the air, but it's not too cool. You set out down the road. How about Fenn and Rhys give me perception rolls for what would be the first hour's journey?
For Fenn, 22.
Okay.
Rhys, 2.
All right, Fenn, you are very aware of everything that is happening as you travel down the road, and you're very alert to the fact that as you are heading west, the road is curving more north and starting to get into the foothills of the Haldir, kind of into the front range area there. Nothing odd or untoward catches your eye. The day seems to be rather calm and quiet. Rhys, you are still rather lost in your own thoughts. Your
Rhys
rest,
is in the back just sulking.
your rest from last night was fairly disturbed. It was not a sound one, and that sort of has your mind still a bit in a tumble. So, as you continue on down the road another 2 hours, let's do another set of perception rolls for both front and back of the party. So Fenn or Cloud for the front, you guys can pick between you.
I will assist. I'll pat Fenn on the shoulder and cast guidance and say,
Outstanding.
use your elf eyes.
Outstanding. All right. So Fenn at a D4.
Here.
Guess Fenn has a total of 19.
Okay. Rhys?
9.
Okay. The journey continues on uneventfully. Your morning is quiet. In comparison to the last several sort of harried days of travel up and down the road, this is it's a relatively tranquil morning. You're able to move unimpeded. Along the way, you see the occasional party heading east, coming out of, you would assume, coming out of Mysa based upon what you, Fenn, know of the region. There's no other settlements around here. So as you're coming, you see occasional, 2s and 3s, sometimes solo travelers with carts heading east.
Do they look like merchants? Do they look like they're in particular haste, or
Nobody appears to be in haste. Everybody is just sort of moving with the casual travel of a day, waving, giving a friendly hello. Folks with wagons and things like that.
And the road, does it look well traveled?
Yes, this is a very well traveled road.
Okay.
DM, how many drow would my character notice?
You have seen no drow so far.
Okay.
Well, Cloud, it definitely seems like a quieter day today. Everybody's moving back and forth. It's a beautiful day too. It's kind of nice to be outside and roaming when it's like this.
Yes, I totally agree. I would I would like for us to stay as safe as possible, but also just between you and me, keep an eye on Maple. She's starting to talk to animals now, and I'm not really sure what's going on there. Like, I'm a little worried, so just be aware.
Are the animals talking back to her?
It's unclear. I don't hear anything.
I mean, I do know that is a skill that some people develop, whether through magic or otherwise. Even in my family, I've seen that before. So, but I'll keep an eye on her. I hopefully she is all right. I know that might be disturbing for her, just based on my limited experience with Maple, who just seems like a treasure. So,
I think at Fenn's comment, Cloud would probably look down at their feet a little bit more self-reflectively and go, huh, that's all.
Fenn just kind of keeps on rambling on to himself, and as he is prone to, and but then continues leading on the way.
Sure. Ahzyris, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, good. That makes me so happy. I'm so glad that you're asking me to do that. 13?
Okay. You, in the back of your head, don't hear anything, but you feel this sort of crackling of energy. It's one that you would have felt before, and it's that feeling of someone trying to reach in, but they're not quite able to get a hold.
Cool. He's gonna kind of like pause in his step for a moment and glance around, and just keep walking.
Okay, very good. You all continue on. Are you going to take a break at any point on the road, or are you just going to make an 8-hour day out of your travel?
Let's go for lunch or something.
Remind me, how many days is it to Misa?
It's about a day and a half's travel.
It's about a day and a half?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, you will either have to camp on the road overnight or go ahead and go long and take the risk of exhaustion.
But I'm good for the whole day.
Yeah, I definitely think it's best we can just kind of eat what we have on us as we make our way.
Okay. Easily
People
done.
will keep walking unless somebody stops her.
Turkey was invented for a reason. We may as well make use for it.
Okay, easily done. You go ahead and continue your travel through the rest of the day. Fenn, go ahead and give me a perception roll.
24.
Cool. So with a 24, you spot just a little off the road, sort of a trampled down area just to the north of the road, getting closer to the hills, but it looks like an area that is pretty commonly one where folks would have sheltered for the night. There's some burn marks on the ground where campfires would have been set. You can hear the sound of a little bit of what would be a small body of running water, maybe a creek or something like that, not too far away.
Well, everybody, I seem to notice a spot that people might have used before for camping. I kind of hear water, might be a fresh spring, chance for everybody to fill up their water skins. And if we're looking for a place to stay out tonight, this might be as good as it gets.
Sounds delightful. My
About
feet
how
are
late-
exhausted.
How late in the day is it at this point?
It's getting into evening hours. The sun's starting to sink. You would be getting ready to rest for the night.
Okay, cool. Ahzyris will just nod.
Okay.
Okay. Well, so Fenn will head over there and then look around for any branches and stuff he can chop into kindling, start making a fire.
Plenty of stuff to make camp. So easily done. So you all go ahead and make camp. What is the watches?
I would like to do the first watch because I don't really like waking up in the middle of the night.
Anara will take third watch.
Okay.
Rhys will go with Anara.
I can take second.
Fenn is
Veirona will take second as well.
Fenn would, based on what Cloud told him, Fenn would like to take watch with Maple.
Okay. All right. Maple, are you going to take first watch with Cloud and therefore Fenn? Are you going to take a later watch? What would you like to do?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Okay.
if Fenn approaches Maple, that's good. She'll gladly help him collect kindling.
All right. You all proceed through your evening, get your fire built, get your bedding prepped, and settle in for an evening. For my first watch, folks, give me one perception roll from what. Pick who wants to make the roll. You can make it with advantage because you have help.
Not me.
I'll take it.
Okay. I will cast guidance on you again. I'll say you're so good. Good job. Scouting ahead. I knew we trusted you for a reason.
Okay, so it's a total of 26.
26. You, Fenn, looking off as the night gets darker and darker, up into the hills and up into the mountains, you see a series of torchlights. They seem to be people on the move, as opposed to animals or just a campsite or anything like that. You can see them moving across the landscape. They are also headed west, but they're probably 200 or 300 feet in elevation above where you're at currently.
And how distant are they from? Is it something where I can tell, like, if they're miles away or?
They are. Make a survival roll.
All right. 11.
You would know that they are a good distance off and that they are not headed your direction. You can't really tell exactly how far they are because it's dark and it's torchlight.
I just point out to Cloud and Maple, just saying, if you look in the distance there's some folks moving with light, but they're a ways away. They don't seem to be taking any notice of us.
This is great. You two are doing an excellent job. You barely even need me. I think I'll just go to bed. And Cloud will just like toddle up to bed.
Well, all right. I didn't mean to run them off, but Maple, Cloud had mentioned to me that you were talking to a mouse or something, and it was talking back.
Yeah, bud, and Maple's saying this as she is actively checking herself for cuts, feeling her neck, just making sure she didn't sleep on anything wrong, that would have caused her to have that dream or to wake up with the sudden ability to talk to things when she has even very little good experience with talking with people. So she'll address Fenn. Yeah, bud, it was really weird. So what happened was I had a dream with a bear, okay, and the bear spoke to me, and that was okay because I really like bears, beavers, and moose. Those are the big buds I'm familiar with. But then this little bud, the mouse, I woke up and my hand was on him, and all of a sudden I could hear his cute little bud voice, and it was really nice. But I'm not sure if I just woke up with a crick in my neck or am I bleeding anywhere? I've seen people bleed out and they go absolutely crazy,
You look fine to me, Maple. I And I glance over just to double check if there's any blood on her. Assuming
you don't see any signs of injury. It does not seem that there is blood running out of her nose or ears. She's speaking clearly. You have no reason to think she's having a stroke.
Well, Maple, I don't know exactly what to tell you, but among my people, there were some who ended up, I guess, in some ways being chosen, and at times could communicate and speak with animals. So I don't know what's causing this, but I don't want you to be scared about it either.
Oh, you know what? I am the exact opposite of being scared, bud. This is the best thing that could have happened to me today, you know? I woke up and I feel just about as good as Claude probably feels every single day for being so good at magic, you know? Claude is just so full of life and confident, and I just want that for myself, you know? So I think I'll probably experiment if there are any little buds around here, you know, just to see what else I can do. But I'll tell you, bud, I did tell Claude this morning because I didn't want to interrupt their beauty sleep any more than usual. But I could swear for just a moment when I had my hand on the mouse, you know, that I could see through the mouse. Everything was so big in the room all of a sudden. It was really cool, you know, but also it was terrifying because I had a little bit of a flashback to when Claude was going around with that staff, you know, and I felt what the mouse was feeling, and it was a little wild for my taste there, bud. I'll tell you what.
Well, that sounds downright incredible. I mean, the dream with a bear and you know, and then everything with the mouse. But well, I tell you what, like I said, I have heard of this before. I can't answer any questions about why it happened or how you're maybe like seeing through it or why it's a bear in your dreams. But if we stumble upon any people that I know who are familiar with that, I'm happy to help find out what I can. And I'm glad you're handling it so well, because I know that can be a unusual type thing for some people. And so I just want to let you know, if you ever needed to talk about it or wanted help in trying to understand it, I'm happy to do that.
Oh, bud, that means the absolute world to me, you know? And I think that it's a real good thing that's happened to me. I woke up feeling 2 sizes bigger. I think the push-ups are really paying off, you know?
Well, if you were 2 sizes bigger, I don't even know how anybody be able to hug you. But with that, I'm glad you're good, and just let you know I'm there if you want to talk about something like that, because I know it can be sometimes off-putting, but you seem to have really enjoyed it. And with that, Fenn will just smile and continue with watch. And I guess if we're finishing watch, make sure to inform the second shift that of the folks who are with the light who are moving on.
Easily done. So
People's light. Yeah, okay.
all right. Ahzyris and Veirona, let's you two can give me a perception roll, either both of you or one of you with advantage, whichever you would prefer.
I think we're both as likely, so let's just
Yep.
both do a roll. Perception. There we are.
Love.
Yeah. I got a 17.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Okay. Your evening passes relatively uninterestingly. It's a quiet night. You hear the typical sounds of the evening, the buzz of insects in the air, the occasional hoot of an owl in the distance. Nothing out of the ordinary. However, Ahzyris, you feel that energy again. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Gladly. And I will have everybody know that as soon as they made camp, he did position himself so that he was facing the mountains and is definitely taking a look. Another 13, how nice.
Okay, you hear, this time, you hear a different laugh. It's just a very simple grunt and a traitor. And that's all you hear.
I see.
Okay.
The lights in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of curiosity, does it seem like it might be coming out of any sort of familiar area in the mountains?
You would certainly be familiar with nighttime parties. So while you're... Give me a survival roll.
Oh, good. I'm sure I'm really good at those. Could be worse. Let's see. 9.
Okay, so when you came down out of the mountains, you were sort of stumbling your way out. You weren't exactly sure where you were or where you were going. So using sort of the idea that you have so far of the terrain and where you've been, you know that you are probably a couple of days down the mountain from where you started your journey. However, this is a side of the mountain that you personally have not been to. So this is more unfamiliar for you.
Cool. Great. Just curious.
Sure.
Out of curiosity, is there any reaction to this, or are you just sitting there like staring off?
Oh man, he definitely jumped a little bit. And probably again just kind of like glanced around, but that was his reaction. And also tonight he didn't get his books out to study them like he usually does. He is just sitting with his back against a tree or something and is just keeping watch quietly.
Is there something wrong?
Oh, no, of course not.
But you don't have your books out? You're staring off to space? A couple times today I saw you, stumble, misstep a couple of times.
Poor sleep.
I can relate. Didn't sleep well last night as well. It was too hot. Maybe it's just the barn. I won't lie though. I have a question for you.
All right.
Why were you traveling with Anara and Rhys before we met up?
Pure coincidence. We both happened to be traveling, bumped into each other, and it's safer to travel in groups.
It's also safer to travel with guides and, well, frankly speaking, not drow. It's... I have a thought, and I don't want to put words into your head or assume intentions, but it seems more like a smokescreen of sorts. You know, you travel with a couple of people that draw the heat away from you, so to speak.
That's interesting.
It's just a thought. I've had experience in the past, and frankly, if that is why you are traveling with them, I'm not sure I want to know what it is that you are attempting to hide from. But all the same, I asked them the same question that I'm going to ask you and everyone else eventually. If we are going to commit to a dangerous mission, is there anything that you bring to the table that we need to be worried about?
At this, he pauses and kind of looks off for a minute. Then he finally looks back to her. Well, I didn't think at first we needed to be worried about anything in relation to anything I left behind, but things may have changed. but I don't know.
Well, the unknown is probably the most terrifying, to be honest. I won't pry. Everyone is entitled to their own secrets, but if you do need to let us know about something, please don't hesitate. I would hate for us to get caught off guard or bite off more than we could chew.
Right.
Veirona just leans back, content for silence.
Okay. The rest of your watch passes uneventfully. Anara and Rhys. One or both of you go ahead and give me perception rolls, please.
Should we do both or just one?
Yeah, I'll roll one.
Okay. I'll roll one too, just to see.
Yeah, Rhys 10.
Okay.
Anara 6.
Okay. It is a very beautiful evening. The air is crisp. The stars overhead are beautiful. The sky is clear. Anara, you keep hearing this hooting. An owl in the distance.
Can I tell where it's coming from?
The owl sounds to you as though it is maybe 100 yards into the woods just to the north, just as you're getting kind of where the hill starts to slope up in the front range.
Rhys, do you know what that sound is?
Sounds like an owl. Better alert everyone so we can go and slay it. It's obviously a danger to everyone.
I think we can just leave it alone for now, but it does give me an idea for something I want to try this morning. But before I get to that, what do you think of Veirona?
What do I think of Veirona? Quite a bit nosy, don't you think?
She certainly does ask a lot of questions.
Certainly don't blame her. I suppose generally when you talk with someone, then you give off an air. I know that I give off an air of not wanting to fucking talk about it, yet she keeps bringing stuff up. So I don't understand what I'm doing wrong, personally.
I don't think you're doing anything wrong, to be honest. But I do have something that might put a smile on your face. You want to see it?
A smile.
You know, the one that you used to have before we left home? That's the one.
What are you talking about?
And Anara casts Mage Hand Ledger Domain.
Okay.
And makes it so it's an invisible spectral hand. As she peers over towards everyone, making sure that everyone's actually fully asleep and not just faking it. And she moves the spectral hand over to Veirona's pack, carefully opens it up, brings the hand back, and I put 2 silver and 4 copper into the hand and bring it back over to Veirona's pack and just carefully place it right there on the lip of the backpack, just in a stack. Do this for everyone else as well.
Okay. Sure, easily done. Everybody's asleep.
So
Rhys crosses his arms and watches this going on, totally not paying attention to anything outside the camp. He's not even standing watch anymore. He's just watching this happen with the mage hand. And says, is this a game we're going to play every night? Because this is far more interesting than staring at owls.
For some reason, Veirona doesn't trust us, at least not yet. So I figured might as well have a little bit of fun with her. She's always worried that we're going to get into her pack and steal something or whatever. So I figured put something into it instead.
Right.
So we'll see how she feels in the morning.
The old reverse thief. Brilliant.
Exactly.
Wow.
What better way to mess with her? And then there's the other thing that I wanted to try tonight. Can you keep watch while I cast a little spell real quick? Or not so quick, as the case may be.
I suppose that's why I'm awake right now, so I'll just keep watch.
All right. Anara pulls out her book and opens it up to the right pages. And she, in the dirt, she scrawls some carefully placed runes. And then she pulls out of her bag a very heavily decorated wooden pipe. The stem is about 8 inches long. The tendon on the stem fits perfectly and seamlessly into the mortise of the pipe, which is artistically formed into a rear talon of an owl. The bowl of the pipe has been artistically carved to resemble a number of different animals forming out of what looks to be smoke, and cupping the bowl from underneath are the 4 talons, including the rear ones, which covers, or that's plugged into the backside of the bowl, the 4 talons of a great horned owl. The chamber of the pipe is made of formed solid brass. This pipe was one that her mentor had actually given her. She pulls out of her pouch 10 gold worth of charcoal and incense and herbs, and over the course of the next hour, she feeds little bits of these ingredients into the bowl of the pipe and starts to smoke. As she's smoking, she's waving her hands around, trapping the smoke that comes out. And after about an hour of smoking and feeding more ingredients into the pipe, the smoke begins to form into a shape. At the end of the hour, all of a sudden she grasps it, forms it, and then releases it. And all you hear is Anara go, "Oh my God, Rhys! It finally worked! It finally worked!" And this is loud enough to wake up everyone.
And with that, you hear a deep
What you see before you is a great horned owl. It has iridescent but not glowing lavender eyes. The feathers are primarily black, but gradually transition to various shades of purple at the tips. Feathers around the eyes are white and pastel purple. And a miniature set of aerodynamic deer stag antlers grows out of the top of the head. And it just flies around and then comes and lands right next to Anara and Rhys.
First thing Rhys says is, "I'm not feeding that."
The good thing is you don't have to. It's actually a fae. It doesn't need to eat.
A fae?
It's a fae. It's one of the spells I've been practicing and working on for the last 4 years, and it just finally happened.
You spent 4 years studying animal companionship?
No, not at all. This is actually a spell called Find Familiar that my mentor, Nakaro, taught me. She actually had an owl that she kept, and that's what gave me the idea for this one. I think I'm going to call her Bubo. How does that sound? You like that name?
No, I think it's terrible.
Do you like that name, Bubo?
looks up at you, Rhys, and sort of does the head turn and snaps her beak one time in your direction.
Rhys looks right back at the owl and just kind of stares down.
Ahzyris, by the way, had definitely snapped awake when you exclaimed earlier, and like grabbed his staff and like turned around to look, and has just been staring this whole time, and finally at this point is just settling slowly back down to try and sleep again.
And
False alarm, everyone. It's just a fake owl.
Did we all awaken when you? Oh, shite.
Yeah. Yeah, my exclamation of joy was quite loud.
I imagine that Cloud got up and is just like, well, I'm not going to be able to fall asleep now. And like walks past you two on the way to like, I don't know, clean their fur. And on the way says something like along the way to Rhys, be careful what you say. Some of them are really smart and they like remember you. So FYI.
Talking about the owl. The owl that's going to vanish when I kick it.
I mean, I'm just letting you know. I lived in the forest. That's all.
Bubo flies up and around the camp.
Easily done.
Well, as long as he doesn't shit on me, I guess I don't care. Fays can't shit on me, right?
Maybe.
What color would Faye poop be, DM?
Just depends on what they eat.
Make a survival check.
I'm not actually going to.
Okay.
Peak D&D question right there.
You do what the DM says.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to know.
Maybe you know, maybe you don't.
Maple will roll over and address Anara. Oh, bud, did you wake up being able to talk to little buds too?
In a matter of speaking, yes.
Oh, that's so great. You know, I knew something would come of our time together, everybody.
Of course.
And she falls back asleep.
Oh, no. Maple, it's time to get up. We're going.
Yes, we have like another half day's travel, Maple, and this bed isn't even that comfortable. So you should just get up now.
You can talk to the owl the entire way if you want.
Would Maple be able to talk to Anara's owl if it's
You can talk through me.
Right.
I can hear everything that Bubo says.
Oh, but that's really interesting, but I think I'm gonna pass. I wouldn't want to hurt your new bud at all. You know, I don't have a handle on this thing quite yet. So, but thank you so much for the offer of practice. I appreciate it.
Bubo flies down and lands on Maple's shoulder.
Veirona lowers the crossbow that she had drawn. Yes, we wouldn't want to hurt it. Right.
Maple, as Bubo lands on your shoulder, she very delicately kind of moves her feet up and down. She's trying to find purchase without grabbing onto your shoulder. And with that, she just sort of roosts all of her feathers out and shakes just a little bit and then settles back down.
Does Bubo match Maple's shirt?
Bubo has less holes than Maple's shirt.
This is true.
As it should. Maple's very excited about this, and is very carefully trying to pack up what little bed she was able to muster, having been so tired walking all day last night, while precariously balancing Bubo on her shoulder. No care for how much ripping is happening. I'm assuming that Bubo's on the good sleeve, so if it goes, it goes, you know?
Bubo is being very delicate.
There.
Fenn just sort of sits, stares, and to himself is a bit wistful between having seen Maple or heard of Maple speaking with animals, and it kind of smiles at Anara, having seen this before and how everybody's getting in touch with nature, but also a bit wistful because it's something he hasn't seen for a while, and yet it's tugging at him a little bit. So he doesn't really say anything. He just...
Okay. Sure. So morning is upon you. You are getting pulled together.
I think we can head out unless anyone has anything we need to do. No.
Yeah, all right. So
Anara leans over to Rhys and says, so do you think they're ever going to notice the money that I put there for them?
did you leave the packs open?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the flaps are wide open.
So then, yes,
the
you
coins
all
stacked
would
up.
you would have all noticed that your packs were open and the coins were stacked up.
Except Cloud, who doesn't care about their backpack because Maple carries it.
That's true. Maple, you would notice that Cloud's backpack and yours had been adorned with a series of coins.
I think Maple will does Cloud has their money purse, right?
Yes.
So Maple will just scoop everything into one hand and go, hey, Cloud, I think some little buds visited us last night, in exchange for me being so nice to the one. What do you think? Look at it.
Cloud will take their paws and accept the coins and just like look at them and think under their breath, this is getting weirder and weirder every day. Let's go, Maple.
Maple follows.
Mirroring that, Veirona just takes one look at the coins and very loudly, what the fuck?
Anara's got a
Fenn?
straight face the entire time.
Rhys says nothing. He doesn't seem to care.
Then just takes the coins and puts them into his coin purse.
Okay.
Ahzyris is confused by it, but looks around, sees everybody else is probably just as confused, and just shrugs and puts it in his bag.
Okay. Very good. You all set off down the road. Throughout the night, you did not see any sign of other travelers passing by, and I will assume that you are maintaining the same marching order as yesterday. Okay. You continue on down the road for about 2 hours. You see nobody coming and going now. It's a much quieter day than the day previous. And as you are moving on, Fenn, go ahead and give me a perception roll, and Rhys, give me a perception roll.
With guidance.
Ahzyris would have cast Mage Armor that
Natural
morning
one.
also, by the way.
That's fine. Okay. Rhys, you're just pissed off about the owl.
13.
13. Okay. Fenn, you smell smoke.
Ah, good.
Something's off here. Usually when you get closer to a settlement, you usually see more people moving, and there's some kind of, y'all smell that? It smells like some kind of smoke. I'm not sure.
Maybe they are cooking something. I don't know. A
Veirona,
feast, perhaps, for our arrival.
Veirona pulls out the crossbow.
Okay.
Rhys is in the back checking his shoulders for like bird poop
Okay.
in a while.
As far as you can tell, there is no poop.
Does Fenn notice, like, sometimes smokes have different smoky smells, whether it's steak cooking or smells like a forest fire, or if there's like other types?
It smells more like a distant campfire wood.
Okay. Well, see, it smells like wood burning, so maybe there's some camping. We did see those lights last night, so but I guess we should just be aware and a little wary just in case, but keeping on.
Okay. As
Keep it on.
you come another few minutes down the road, Fenn, you now begin to hear shouts. You hear yelling.
Good.
Something is definitely wrong. There's that, and with what's the terrain?
You're still on the road, and you are close to the front range, so that hill the hills leading into the mountains that you had slept near is still just to the north of the road. The south of the road is more open. It's relatively overgrown. The road itself is a nice, hard, packed dirt and gravel.
And on the sides, in the hilly area, is it wooded? Is it?
So yeah, it's sort of a sloping terrain and relatively wooded stands of trees as you move up the hills.
If y'all want me to, I can go ahead.
Does this yelling sound like urgent, or is it like calling yelling?
Make a perception roll.
Oh. I rolled a 20.
You, Cloud, at this point where Fenn starts kind of bringing this attention, you just hear, "No! No!"
Someone is in trouble. I must go and protect them. You should all come with me because you're cool too. And Cloud will start running ahead.
Okay.
Veirona is right behind her.
Okay.
Fenn
Anara's not far behind.
Ahzyris joins.
Fenn is going to try to go stealth into the woods as moving forward.
Okay. Very good. So Cloud, being now in the front, as you come around a bend, you see a wagon that is on fire. There is a horse in front of it that is crumpled to the ground, not moving. Next to the cart on the roadside, you see two bodies. One face down with an arrow stuck into its neck. The other next to the person who's down, kind of trying to push themselves up and screaming, "My babies! My babies!"
Oof.
Oh dear.
Anara's going to send Bubo up to scout around, and
Okay.
she's going to grab onto Ahzyris's sleeve to kind of guide with her, because while Anara's doing this, she can't hear or see.
Okay.
She's literally looking through Bubo.
Is she going to let Ahzyris know this?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. So, Cloud, give me a perception roll.
14.
Okay. You looking, kind of surveying this scene, you can see a little ways up the hill, maybe 150 feet away, two gnolls. And as they see you, one of them lets loose an arrow, which passes wide of your group. Everybody roll initiative.
Gnolls.
Here we go.
I point them out loudly.
Okay.
Rhys,
No.
18.
Okay.
Oh shit. I forgot to click on my thingy, but I got Ahzyris got a 16.
16 for Ahzyris.
Anara got a 20, and so did Bubo.
Okay.
16 for Cloud.
Good for Bubo.
14 for Veirona.
5 for Fenn.
Okay.
Gonna cast
17 for
guidance
me.
on you, Fenn.
17 for Maple.
Yeah, Finn's good rolls only come during non-combat situations. Get ready for some ones, everybody.
You and me both, baby.
And while Anara's looking through Bubo's eyes, what does Bubo see?
Okay, so Bubo now sees, going up this hill, there are these two gnolls, and then slightly beyond them, there is a party of about 7 more individuals. Bubo can make out that one of them is a gnoll, 3 of them seem to be small children, 2 cloaked figures, and then 1 much larger, sort of hulking cloaked figure. And they are all making their way up the hill.
This seems fine.
And even though Anara can't hear or see for herself, she communicates all this to everyone else to let them know what's coming.
Okay. So, Anara, what would
All right.
Bubo like to do?
Let's see. Where is everything? All right. And Bubo is going to fly back towards the first two that she saw,
Okay, the gnolls closest to the party.
and just kind of hover around that area.
Okay, easily done. And what will you do at this point?
Nara is going to let's see. Is that a wall that's up there next to where we are?
There basically it's sort of terraced as the hill is going up,
Okay.
so
let's
it's
see.
climbable. There's no obstacle in your way.
Okay. Anara is going to move 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She's just going to get right up next to the wall,
Okay.
or the terrace,
Okay.
and pull out her actually, hold on. What am I going to do? Let me try that again. Let's see. 1, 2. Gotta make sure I'm doing everything correctly. From there, she is going to, since there's not really anything to hide behind, she's going to cast Fairy Fire
Okay.
on the two gnolls.
All right.
And that gives a 20-foot cube within range, which is 60 feet. So the gnolls should be definitely within range.
Mhm.
Each object is outlined in violet light, and any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw. For the duration, the objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage. So everybody has advantage on these two gnolls.
Okay. All right. So the gnolls are now bathed in this light. Nobody else is within the cube, and anybody attacking them has advantage. That ends your turn?
Yes.
Rhys, what would you like to do?
Rhys is going to touch himself on the chest, mutter a few words, and cast Shield of Faith on himself before he's going to sprint using his action to go 60 feet.
Okay.
Towards the trees there.
Okay. Easily done. Maple, what would you like to do?
I think Maple will go into a rage first of all, by saying, you know what? The only people in this group who should be on fire are me and my friends. We have a really good attitude. And then she'll go forward. Same thing as Rhys. So she'll use her dash action to get up
I'm
there.
imagining there's a whole notebook of lines.
Okay.
And that will end her turn.
All right. Ahzyris.
About how far away are the further group with the kids?
The further group are... I'm going to spitball this here. Stand by. I'll actually measure.
Sorry, measuring with my computer is like nigh impossible.
Not a problem. They are just about 200 feet away.
200. Okay. And the closer gnolls are about...
Just under 100 feet for you.
Beautiful. Okay. Oops. Well, I am going to also move close to the wall next to Anara.
Okay.
And then he is going to don't worry about it. This is the furthest one he's got so far. He's gonna do an Eldritch Blast. So
Okay.
the area around him is able to darken a little bit, and he points his finger forward, and a single blast of dark, inky tendrils just whips out towards them. So he's going to try and aim for one of the closer knolls.
Okay. Easily done.
Wahoo.
With advantage.
Yep.
Ooh. Thank goodness. 18 to hit.
Okay. So that goes ahead, and that bolt of eldritch energy comes crackling out of your hand, launches forth, and slams into the upper shoulder of the gnoll, sort of rocking it back. How much damage?
Great question. 6 whole force damage.
Okay. Sounds good. All right.
I believe that is going to be his turn.
Okay.
Yep, that is his turn.
All right. That ends Ahzyris' turn. Cloud, you are on deck.
Oh my gosh. Cloud seeing Rhys and Maple run forward, but like Fenn hanging back is gonna be like, and run to be in the middle between them distance-wise. And I think there I could get all three of them within 30 feet.
Okay.
Hopefully. So up by Veirona and Ahzyris.
Okay.
And we'll cast Bless. So just take their little snow leopard paws together and poof poof and like try and like cast Bless on Rhys, Maple, and Fenn.
Rhys, Maple, and
So you can add a
Fenn.
D4 to your attacks and saving throws.
Okay. So you've moved up kind of near where Ahzyris is then?
Yeah, where Ahzyris is.
All right. Cool.
Oops.
Awesome.
And that will be my turn.
Very good. All right. So those of you who are blessed, remember you are blessed. Veirona, you're up.
Well, everything that I was just planning on doing is out the window, so she is going to run forward 30 feet to try and... That wall at least provides a little bit of cover, right?
Yeah, it's not so much a wall as it is just sort of a terracing. So you're high above it. If you would want it to be any sort of cover, you would have to almost be kneeling or prone.
Okay. Yeah. Take a knee. By the looks of it, I'm within, oof. Can I even get within? No. Shiza. They are so far away. Never mind. I completely misjudged the distance. Yeah. In that case, yeah, gonna try and move the full 60.
Okay.
Do any of these trees or anything provide cover or anything of the sort?
You would probably get half cover if you were behind some of the larger trees.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna use full movement, try and get behind. I can't really ping, but the tree directly in front of her.
Okay.
Let's try and ping this right there.
Okay.
Try and use that tree as cover. I believe that takes me like well over 30 feet of movement. So she'll use her dash action, and we're not going by anyone, so I can't bonus action anything. So yeah, that's all she's going to, or all she's going to be able to do right now.
Okay. Cool. All right, Fenn, you are up.
All right. Fenn is going to move 35 feet next to Veirona.
Okay.
And then I believe that leaves the two closest knolls probably about 70 feet away or so.
Yep.
Okay. So Fenn, just hearing the scream for children, just becomes enraged. And how close together are those two knolls?
There are sort of staggered about 20 feet apart from one another.
Okay, so Fenn is going to pull out his bow, take an arrow, notch it, and then to himself, while casting Hunter's Mark on that, just look at the arrow, steadying himself, and for that mark to be true, whispering to it, and then attacking the closest knoll with the
Okay.
bow.
All right. Go ahead, make your attack.
And
With advantage.
and with bless as well, I believe that's a 30 to hit.
That's going to hit. Yeah, not a problem.
And
you did that with a advantage?
yes. And that is, let's see, I believe that is 9 points of damage.
Okay, so the arrow comes flying in, and with your hunter's mark, as it comes in, it catches the knoll right in the center of the throat, and you can hear this sort of guttural as it collapses to the ground, unmoving.
Okay, all right. And with that, I will finish my turn.
Okay. So the other knoll gives a very loud, kind of howling, seeing its compatriot fall to the ground, and it is going to make a bow attack on Rhys. 18. That will miss with your AC, correct? Okay, so the knoll lets loose an arrow. It goes flying and just zooms past, slightly out of range. However, you do see the knoll that had been kind of just a little bit further up the hill turns around and uses its full movement to move closer to where the now lifeless knoll and the other is. The rest of that party continues to move away quickly. So, top of the round. Bubo. What's Bubo doing?
Let's see.
Sweet Bubo.
Let's see. Bubo is going to fly down close to, let's see, that knoll right there, and is going to use the help action just to kind of harry the bugbear, kind of distracted a little bit.
Knoll. Sure. So the knoll that is the original knoll, or the one that has been approaching?
Let's see, which one is the one that's approaching?
So the one that is slightly closer to the party is the one that was approaching.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. All right.
All right. So Bubo's going to use the help action. Can't really attack at all, so just going to use the help action, just kind of distract it.
Okay.
And that's it for Bubo.
Okay.
And then let's see. Anara's going to move 30 feet closer.
Okay.
And she's going to pull out her 2 daggers.
Okay.
And cast Booming Blade.
Okay.
On one of the daggers, anyways. And throw that at the knoll.
Okay. The one that Bubo is harrying.
Yes, correct. So
all right.
Comes out with advantage either way.
Yep.
Let's see, what do we get? So that's a 21 to hit.
Okay, so the dagger flies from your hand and sort of catches the knoll in the leather armor, just up in the shoulder.
Yes. And
does how much damage?
Does a total, because Bubo is using the help function, it acts as a another character that's in melee range with the character. So Anara should get sneak attack damage as well, which comes out to a grand total of 12.
Okay. So with the strike of the blade, the gnoll is swatting at Bubo, trying to get it away. It lurches back from the embedding of the dagger. It lets out a groan. You can see a decent amount of blood coming from the wound. Does that end your turn?
No.
Okay.
So with Booming Blade, that gnoll becomes sheathed in booming energy until the start of my next turn.
Okay.
If it willingly moves 5 feet or more before then, it takes 1d8 of thunder damage.
Okay.
So that was my first attack with my bonus. Or wait a minute. Nope.
That should be.
Actually, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
it.
Cool. All right, Rhys, you are up.
Rhys is going to use his movement and his full action to go 60 feet.
Okay.
He's going to get into that cover in the tree line over there. So as he's sprinting along, he's going to put himself right there. Oh, I don't think I can move through those trees actually. Okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so Rhys is going to run up to those trees and realize he can't make his way through, and he's going to start running a little bit to his left and try and make his way around there for his full movement and action.
Okay.
And that'll end his turn.
Okay. Very good. Maple, you're up.
I think what Maple will do, if she goes, I'm just gonna put her here. If she goes here, I don't think she can go through those anymore. Okay, so she's gonna be in the same. I realize what Rhys is talking about. She's in the same pickle as Rhys. So, grabbing her great axe, she's going to grunt enthusiastically and go, "Hey there, bud! You know what happened last time? Don't go being a hero." And she'll come up here right next to him.
Okay. All right.
And that will end her turn.
Okay, Ahzyris, you are up.
Cool. Ahzyris is going to use his full movement to head in the same direction as those two so that he can try and start heading around those trees, get closer to the enemies. And he is also going to, as a bonus action, use his racial ability Aggressive and use his full movement to get a total of 60 feet that way.
Okay.
And as he moves, when he runs, it's weird. He kind of like glides almost. It doesn't look like he's running. It's weird. But yeah, he moves all the way there. Oh man, measuring, huh? About where would that put me? Hold on. Sorry, it is so hard for my computer to read. About where would be 60 feet? Somebody tell me. I cannot see the number.
Back
2
back
squares
10
short
feet.
of
Back
that.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How do you do the thing? Was it control? Oh well. I'll figure it out. You guys
You
are
just
so
drag 'em up
patient
there.
with me. Was that around there?
Yeah.
Okay, sick.
That's about right. Yeah.
Nice. And at that point, he is going to be... How close is he to the gnolls at this point?
90.
90. All right. Neat. Thank you. 90. And there are 2 still conscious. Only one of them has gone down.
Correct.
Okay. He is... Yeah, may as well. He's going to go ahead and go for another Eldritch Blast and go for the less harmed one.
Okay. the one, so that would be the one that Anara did not hit with the dagger. So, go for it.
Cool. Thanks for your patience with me. I appreciate it. That'll be a 21 to hit.
That burst of eldritch energy reaches out and just slams that gnoll square in the chest.
Beautiful. With a 7 whole force damage. So again, as soon as he comes to a stop, I don't even think he would, but at this point he points again, and that blast just it's just blasts out that one inky tendril and just slams into him. That is going to be his turn. That was his action bonus.
Okay.
Yeah, that's his turn.
All right, Cloud, you're up.
All right. So Cloud is going to move an additional 30 feet closer to Maple and Rhys, I believe,
Sure.
together. So getting closer to the gnolls by about 30 feet.
Yep.
And will take their paws together and kind of just do one of these in the air at almost nothing, mutter some arcane words, and cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
And so for those of you that can see, you see a magical specter, long pole materialize with a string on the end of it and a small feather attached to the bottom of it. And it's about 30 feet, so right next to Maple and Rhys, just floating in the air, ready to move forward and whap something in the face. And that will be the end of Cloud's turn.
All right, outstanding. Veirona, you are up.
Right. Veirona is going to move 30 feet forward. So right about here, I do believe, is 30 feet. That'll put me within 90 feet of this spot that I'm trying to mark, but I can't apparently.
It's fine.
Right in the center of the 3 gnolls.
Yep.
I am going to. She's going to. Can we see that area first of all? If there's dense, okay, we can see.
Yeah,
okay.
you can see it.
She's going to lock eyes on the areas, place palm against her forehead, slide it down with Requiem under her breath, and cast Sleep on the 2 remaining gnolls.
Okay.
So, did it do the roll? It did not do the roll. Please do the roll. Come on, do the roll. There we are. Oh, no, wait, that was Spiritual Weapon that just popped up.
Sorry, I forgot to type it. Now it's in there.
Okay, for some reason it's not rolling now.
You can just roll it right from your sheet.
There we are.
Okay.
22. So if the 2 of them have a combined health, or any of them have a combined health of less than 22, they're put to sleep, and the remaining transfers over. So
yep. So the one that Anara had already struck with the dagger falls backward to the ground. The other gnoll that had just been hit with the eldritch energy sort of shudders a little bit and remains on its feet.
All right. That's the turn.
Cool. Fenn, you're up.
All right. Having seen what Veirona just did and the one gnoll falling down, I'm going to run up about 5 feet in front of Veirona.
Okay.
And then I am going to, with my bow, just kind of take it, look, and just kind of point with my forward finger at the gnoll that didn't go down.
Okay.
And using my bonus action to move my hunter's mark there.
Okay.
And then I am going to attack with the longbow. Okay. So just pulling back and do we have advantage on?
Still with advantage.
Still with advantage and with bless as well. Okay. All right. So that's going to be a 26 to hit.
Your arrow sinks itself into the chest of the gnoll that had previously been blasted with the eldritch energy.
And so I kind of reach back, and that's 12 damage. So I just take my bow, just still, my eyes just kind of getting a gaze, having heard children's cries, and just pointing, muttering to myself as I move my mark from the one fallen to the next one, just move over and then release it and just feel it fly through the air and just feel confident that my aim was true.
The arrow buries itself in through the armor. The gnoll squeals and falls to the ground.
And that will end my turn. Thank you, Veirona.
All right. And so now, as you all have moved forward, you can see this group continuing to push away, and one more gnoll begins to turn around from the group and make its way back in your direction. It's going to take a turn to get itself back down towards you. The rest of the party continuing to move away. However, the larger of the cloaked figures turns around, and you all see the golden skin of a dragonborn whose head is covered in a hood. And the okay, yep, that is their turn. It is the top of the round. Bubo is up.
Okay, just point of clarification, DM. Yeah. The two that are down here on the road, were those gnolls as well, or were
the
they...
two that are down on the road are the individuals. The one who was dead with the arrow in their neck, or seemingly dead with the arrow in their neck, unmoving. The other, the person calling out about their children.
Okay, in that case, void my fairy fire and void my attack.
Okay.
Because I went the wrong way. So in that case, Anara will... yeah, I was thinking those were the two gnolls. So Anara will instead move back up the hill.
Okay.
Anara, Bubo will, let's see, what was Bubo's flight speed? 60 feet. So Bubo is going to move up towards those bugbears up by the second terrace.
Okay.
And Anara is going to travel right behind it.
Okay. Very good.
And that's all Anara is going to do.
All right, Rhys, you are up.
Okay, so Rhys is going to turn the corner around these woods, and then he's going to continue his full movement towards the gnolls. And that'll end his turn, so he should be about 15 feet, looks like.
Okay, yep.
Okay, yeah, that'll be it. And he's just got his sword ready and his shield up.
Okay, those three are all down.
Okay. So there's
one further
distant.
up the hill that's on its way towards the party, and then the remaining individuals are pushing their way away.
Okay, got it. All right.
Okay. Maple, you're up.
Maple is absolutely skirting Tokyo Drift style around this corner to get over to where Rhys is. And she will quickly call out to him, Rhys, bud, the next time we go to the market, we really need to invest in things that shoot. And she's using her dash action to meet up with him. So.
Okay. All right. Ahzyris, you are up.
All right. Ahzyris is going to do the same thing as last time and remember how to move around on the screen. He is going to use his full movement as well as use bonus action aggressive to use another 30 feet. That would put him around, give me just a second. Here, I believe. And
okay.
About there, how close am I to the... Well, I guess first question, am I able to see the group farther up?
Yes.
Okay. Any familiar faces?
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I was worried about.
You recognize Chrysante.
Okay, that's cool. That's nice. Well, as soon as he rounds these trees, he freezes for a moment, and then... Boy, what is he going to do at this point? How far away is the closest knoll?
The closest knoll is 70 feet,
knoll.
maybe? Yeah,
Okay.
the only standing knoll is about 70 feet. Taking a spitball guess here, but...
Okay. Ahzyris is also going to attempt to cast sleep on that knoll.
Okay.
So what he does is he looks at the Dragonborn. Nobody sees the look on his face, but he pauses for a moment, looks back to the standing knoll, mutters something under his breath, kind of rubs his fingers together, and then throws his staff out, and a sort of sandy-like substance, I suppose, floats along the wind towards the knoll.
Okay.
That is going to be cool. 18 HP.
Okay. You see the knoll sort of as that spell energy starts to waft around its face. It shakes its head 2 or 3 times and down to the ground it goes, seemingly out.
Cool. That's his turn.
All right, very good. Cloud, it is your turn.
I'm assuming the bushes in front of me I cannot run through.
Correct.
Okay. Then I will move to Ahzyris in that area.
Okay.
That is like about here.
Easily done. Yeah.
I'm going to Cloud's going to use, I believe it's called Cat's Endurance.
Okay.
Where I can move my additional movement, feline agility.
Yep.
So I can move my movement again without it costing a bonus action,
Yep.
but then I cannot do so until I don't move. So I will move again, just so that I'm like slightly in front of Ahzyris. So
Sure.
I'm kind of like between Ahzyris. Maple and Rhys are kind of in the front.
Okay.
And the only knoll, to my knowledge, that's still alive is the one furthest back, correct? Which is about how many feet, would you say, from me?
So you've got, there are the 2 that have been seemingly killed, and 2 now that are asleep.
Oh, okay, they're asleep. Okay.
Yeah, so all 4 of the gnolls are out of commission at this point.
Oh, okay. And in that case, Cloud will just hold a sacred flame, and move the spiritual weapon up with them,
Okay.
so that they're continuing forward with the party. That'll be my turn.
Easily done. Okay, Ahzyris, you see Chrysante looks up and you hear in Orcish, "Traitor!" And with that, a inky tendril of energy wraps around their claw, and 2 beams of eldritch energy shoot your way. The first and the second seem to just go barely wide of you as this bellowing voice just and that is Chrysante's turn. Veirona, what would you like to do?
Oh boy, what can I do? Clarification, we cannot get through the trees, or do they just count as difficult terrain?
Depends upon where you're at. Some of them you cannot
Okay.
get through, some of them you can. So if you can see through them, you can get through them.
Okay, because I would have needed to see through like this kind of area
Mm-hmm.
to be able to cast sleep there. Is that an area I could get through?
Sure.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And then is it 5 or 10 feet of difficult terrain?
No difficult terrain here. You're fine.
No difficult. Okay.
You can skirt
So
through.
30.
It's not that bad.
35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. It collides with at least one wall. Okay, so I'm gonna
Don't
have to
worry
do
about
this.
it. Just
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do this in like a weird way. Thank you. Okay, so moving up to there, that's 60 feet of movement.
okay.
Taking in the rest of the area, that is all she could really do. But is it possible to? Is that another like step down thing, like what we had previously, or
Yeah, it's basically just a terraced area. So
Okay.
as it's going up, you kind of have these spots carved into the hill where it's terraced.
Okay. I follow. In that case, she's just gonna hunker down there as best as she can. I know it doesn't count for anything, but
Okay. It's fine. Not a problem. Okay, Fenn, you are up.
All right. So Fenn is going to move forward is 35 feet.
Okay.
And
I got
can from that area, can Fenn see the dragonborn that was mentioned earlier?
Yes. I went ahead and moved you to make it easier for you.
Okay.
But
Yep.
yes, you can absolutely see the dragon.
Okay. So again, noticing that gold skin and having just seen like these blasts come out and target his ears, Fenn again just moves his finger, looks, aims, says, "Now you," and targets looking at the gold skin, and is going to move his hunter's mark there and
Okay.
going to attack with the longbow.
Okay, go for it.
And that's a 9 to hit plus, let me throw in bless. So an 11 to hit.
So with that, the arrow just catches the dragonborn across the side of the throat, doing how much damage?
Oh, okay. So, all right. So for a total of 8 damage.
Okay. You see that the arrow glance across and a little bit of blood pull out, but doesn't seem to otherwise be affected. So with that, the party, seeing you get closer and closer, the two hooded figures that you have seen thus far, each blink out of existence with a child, each of them holding onto a child, and appear about 500 feet further up the hill.
Oh.
Son of a bitch.
Oh.
What the hell?
That will be the top of the round. Anara, what would Bubo like to do?
All right. Since Anara has literally nothing she can do right now, she is going to sit down and just focus through Bubo's eyes and kind of track where this dragonborn and everyone up here is, and just kind of watch what happens.
Okay.
And as needed, you said which one went further up the hill?
So the two, both of the hooded figures, each of them with a child, blink out of your vision and appear 500 feet further up the hill.
Okay. In that case, the Bubo is going to fly down and use the help action against the Dragonborn.
Okay. Easily done.
So that people can get extra advantage on the Dragonborn.
Sure. Easily done.
But you say that they were 500 feet away?
Not the Dragonborn. The Dragonborn has not moved. It was the two hooded figures. So there were three figures total. Two hooded figures, each of them with a child. The Dragonborn with a child. The Dragonborn is still there. The other two have jumped further up the hill and are now beyond your line of sight. Okay. Easily done, Anara?
Yep.
All right. Rhys?
Rhys is going to continue just sprinting because he works out a lot. And he's still... So he's going to hop over the terrace and he's going to keep on chugging.
Okay.
Yep. And
Run, Forrest.
that concludes his turn.
Okay.
Because, yeah, that's it.
All right. Easily done. Maple, you are up.
Same thing for Maple. Cumbersome, both backpacks in tow and all. Just absolutely booking it after Rhys, not wanting to be shown up by somebody who clearly works out less than she does. And that'll be that.
That's not canon.
All right.
Oh, canon.
All right. Ahzyris, you're up.
Oh boy. Cool. Ahzyris is again going to full movement to get closer, another aggressive to move another 30 feet and get... Wow! That moved a little too far, excuse me. No. Sorry, it is being so fussy. Let me move there first.
Cool.
Hold on. Not done.
Okay.
It is being so fussy. That is where I want to move. Okay.
All right.
He is going to... Found out how to zoom in. He is going to hold a... He's going to hold a Dissonant Whispers, and he is going to point towards Chrysanta, and he's going to straighten up to his full height, and in Orcish, he is going to shout over, "You don't want to cross me. If you leave the children, I will let you live." And he's going to attempt to bluff.
Okay. Make an intimidation check.
All right.
Dun, dun.
Got that angsty glare.
I glare at him until he does it.
I got a whopping 14.
Okay. Chrysanta looks at you, sort of looks around at what you've done, and just kind of... That's your turn, right?
He is holding
Okay.
a
Dissonant Whispers.
Dissonant Whispers for if she makes another move.
Okay. All right. Very good. Cloud, you're up.
Cloud is very far behind, and so is going to attempt to follow Rhys and Maple, but like does not work out at all, like ever. So is just going to like slowly huff and puff behind them and make it just beyond this wall area with a dash action. And just be like, "Oh my gosh, this totally better be worth it," and then move the spiritual weapon that's clearly a cat teaser feather toy along with them.
All right, so. Easily done. So with that, it's Chrysante's turn. They look again at you, Ahzyris, and looking at the group that is around them. At the same time that all of this has been happening, one of the children, the child that Chrysante has had, has managed to kind of weasel their way out of Chrysante's grasp. And Chrysante kind of taking a look at the situation, seeing the child skittering away, seeing all of you coming up, looks at you and in Orcish says, "Come and get them," and blinks out of existence and appears 500 feet further up the hill.
Well, that's a little out of my range, so...
With the remaining child continuing to scramble down in the direction where Rhys and Maple are. So, at this point, you can continue to give chase if you care to.
I think we care to.
I know Veirona is just going to sprint.
Okay.
Ahzyris is going to go.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to fall so far behind.
Anara is just going to try to catch up.
Finn's going to take a shot with disadvantage.
All right, go for it.
All right. That's 13. Oh wait, plus still bless, right? So sorry about that. So just seeing that they went, he's just gonna give it a crazy one shot. And that's a 15 to hit the Dragonborn.
Okay, you, as the Dragonborn pops back into existence, you see where they are now, you pull back, you let that arrow fly, it catches them in the shoulder, doing how much damage?
16 points of damage.
Okay, so you, again, you see a little bit of blood kind of inking out from around the cloak, but they are continuing to move away from you.
Yeah, just feeling zoned.
Okay. So you all giving chase.
DM, how far away?
They are 500 feet right now.
Yeah, they're like 500 feet away, assuming that they can move like 30-ish feet at least on their turns. If they don't dash, Cloud's not gonna be able to catch up, so they'll slow down.
Rhys turns to Maple and says, "The chase is over. Deal with the gnolls. Find out what they know, and then we can kill them later."
Ahzyris rushes past you guys as you are talking.
Okay.
Ditto.
All right. Ahzyris and Veirona continue to run ahead.
Ahzyris using his full movement, dashing, and aggressive. So.
Yep.
Just letting you know.
Not a
Rhys
problem.
watches them run off and looks at Maple and says, "They'll get tired eventually and come back."
As each of you use, Veirona, are you going to use your full movement and bonus action to dash as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
As each of you close that distance, you see all three blink again and appear 500 more feet down. So.
Well, the good news is we know they only have so many spell slots.
I think Maple nods at Rhys and goes, "Oh my goodness, but if they keep poofing like that, we won't see him until next week."
They're like,
so
yeah.
Cloud catches up to Rhys and Maple and says, "Do either of you have any of those, what does Veirona call them, manacles? We can take one of these sleeping gnolls and like tie them up. Or I could just use rope too."
Bedroom accessories.
After the second blink, Veirona just kind of, if possible, yells out to Ahzyris because there's no way she's going to be able to keep up with that. Just,
"We're not going to catch them, but we have their allies. We can figure out where they are."
Soon.
Mm-hmm.
Soon.
Realistically, no one deals with gnolls and treats them with respect, so these gnolls probably know very little. They're probably not very useful, but we can still question them and then kill them, of course.
Anara just having caught up to the very furthest down knoll, completely out of breath, says, "They might still know something."
I think Maple, realizing they're probably going to be waking up soon, races towards one of them with her great axe raised and goes, "Okay, buds, you pick which one you want to leave alive, but I'm ready for some cutting here."
Maple, before you start, let's you know how sometimes you chop firewood, you always gather them up first. Let's do that so that you don't have to swing very far in case they wake up and they try to scramble away. Let's do that first.
As you are doing this, the child that had broken free from the Dragonborn is kind of hands and knees scrambling down the hill, trying to get away, and sort of crushes into the ground at your feet, Maple, and just looks up in terror.
I think Maple, seeing the child, doesn't know how to react in any other way, but looking back at the still on fire the cart, realizing that she woke up feeling extra good this morning, will race towards the flames because she realizes that a parent is still alive for this child and she does not know how to personally handle it. So she's gonna run for the adult.
Okay.
Run for
So
the
Maple, great axe overhead, ready to decapitate Knowles, sees a small child at her feet, and basically jumps as though that small mouse from earlier had been right underneath her. She sort of and turns around and runs as fast as she can down the hill in the direction of the wagon. Rhys, you are left with a completely confused and very scared child at your feet.
How
I'm
old is
also
the child,
there.
DM?
Yeah, you have caught up now as well, Cloud.
What size are they?
This is a very small child. Looking at them, you would figure them to be a halfling. And
so Rhys looks at the child and says, "Well, you're not very much help," and then grabs one of the gnolls and starts dragging the gnoll back over to the other gnolls, and just piles them up, kind of lines them up, so in case, you know.
The
then,
child seeing you sort of does another kind of like reaction.
He says back to her.
I'm up where Rhys and Maple were. If this child doesn't look hurt, Cloud is going to very tiredly walk towards the cart, like kind of like do like the slow jog, probably not running as fast as Maple, so that they can, you know, probably help heal.
Okay. All right. Easily done. So you all sort of, this child now is kind of looking at everything that is going on, looks up, sees the cart, sees this very strong woman with a battle axe charging in the direction of the cart, screams, just lets out a shriek and takes off after Maple, blowing right past you, Cloud.
It's fine. She's not mean. It's okay.
Leave you guys alone for like 30 seconds.
She's probably the nicest person I've ever met.
Veirona and Ahzyris, are you coming back down the hill, or are you continuing to give chase?
Yeah. Well, Verona's gonna, after yelling to Ahzyris, is going to turn around and begin making her way back. Because I mean, if they can just blink whenever the heck they feel like, it's.
I can only do it a few times usually, but.
She doesn't know that. But I assume like traveling 500 plus feet is going to take, you know,
Probably.
like at least a minute or so.
Probably.
I think both of you can move 60 feet a minute if you are using your full movement plus a
Move 90.
Okay.
That's true.
That's actually very true. How far did you run?
As far as I could.
Fleet of foot Ahzyris. 7.5 feet of lightning speed.
Yeah. We found a new Usain Bolt.
So,
So Rhys at this time is setting up all of the gnolls against the terrace, and since he only has one rope and no one seems to be helping him right now, he takes the 150-foot rope that he has and he ties around all three of them to tie them back to back to back together, and he disarms all of them.
Okay.
And then separates them from their weapons. He just kind of chucks them into the tree line.
Okay.
And then just stands there, ready to stab one of them if they try to squirm out.
Okay.
Fenn is still keeping his eye on his quarry, seeing if they blink again and making a mental note to see potentially if he could eventually track his target. And so continues to just kind of stare and maintain, feeling this like inner rage, not quite on Maple level inner rage, but having seen like children kidnapped, potentially exploited.
Okay.
Anara's gonna send Bubo off with the command to just kind of follow the Dragonborn and everyone.
Okay.
Even though I can't really talk to her
Right.
At this point because she's like 1,000 feet off. She's gonna keep going, track him for a little bit, and then come back and report.
Okay.
Maple, as she runs down the hill, is yelling at the adult that was yelling for help.
Okay.
Is there anything worth salvaging in the cart there, bud? Still great axe raised.
Okay. The halfling woman looks up at you and my babies, where are they? Where are they?
Maple looks over her shoulder and lets her great axe, she drops her great axe on the way down so she can point behind her, seeing the little tiny person for some reason chasing after her. And then can she get to the cart? Like how is it looking? Sure. Is it like falling apart on fire or?
Yeah, it's on fire. It's the cart is a loss.
Okay. Well then Maple, I think seeing that, realizing, her resistance to fire damage won't really do anything in helping them save supplies for these supposed children or anybody, will calm herself down for a second, and kind of wait until this child catches up so she can now use her free hands to pick them up and bring them to the adult.
Okay, so Maple scoops up this halfling child who initially very nervous and frantic, not knowing what's going on, sort of feels the warmth and the gentleness of Maple's hands and just sort of relaxes for a moment. And that's where we're going to take our break. So we are going to take 15 minutes, run to the restroom, go get yourselves a fresh beverage, and we will see you in 15 minutes. And we are back. So we have concluded combat. The small halfling child has been gathered up in Maple's arms, his softly whimpering under its breath and sort of face down into Maple's arms. Maple, what are you doing?
Maple is just quickly ushering this child forward. She has never encountered a child before, I'm assuming. So she doesn't know what to do with it. So
okay. All right. So you go ahead and take the child to the mother on the ground.
Adult.
Okay.
Yes.
So this young boy comes tumbling out of your arms and down to his mother on the ground, and the mother just kind of grabs the child and rolls in such a way where the child's back is to the other body on the ground, and so she can see this body but the child can't, and she just begins stroking his hair, and you just hear her saying over and over again, Jerry, it's okay, Jerry, it's okay.
I imagine that slowly and huffing and puffing, Cloud would appear behind Maple. Can I assess? Cloud looks like their fur is not happy, and their feet are quite muddy. Is anyone visibly hurt that Cloud can see? And if so, will probably heal.
There's one man who is kind of crumpled into the ground with the arrow in his neck, and then the woman who is now holding the child. She seems to have some minor cuts and some burns, but is not grievously wounded.
And he's dead, or?
Go ahead and make a medicine check.
Oh, okay. Roll well.
You are the cleric.
No.
I assess. I rolled a 9.
Okay. You think that you might be able to do something.
All right. Well, then I'll just lay a paw on him and cast Cure Wounds. So let me just roll that. So it's in there for 13 points of healing. I imagine it's probably more than his max.
Okay, so his eyes flutter open and his body sort of shakes from this energy, and his hand immediately goes up to yank the arrow out of his neck. He pulls the arrow out and sort of crumples back to the ground, but he's still breathing.
So
He's stable. He's
Okay.
awake.
Okay.
He's awake. He's definitely in a lot of pain. He is not really responding to anything yet. The energy that kind of coursed into him, he sat up again, yanked an arrow out of his neck, and immediately took a whole bunch more damage and fell to the ground. So
All right.
he is stable.
Okay. Cloud will just kind of stand there awkwardly and look to the woman in case Cloud feels like maybe she needs healing or not. Kind of just looking and feeling bad.
Sure. She looks up. She sees what you do for the man and kind of looks and takes this all in. Will he be okay?
Oh yes, I am a healer, so I have done healing before. I'm not as good as this other guy named Rhys, but I'm pretty darn good. Do you need some healing? Are you hurt as well?
I'm fine. Jerry, are you okay? And he just sort of buries his face into his mother's neck and just I'm fine is all you can sort of hear under the breath. Where she looks up, where are the others?
I think at this point, Ahzyris would probably be getting back with Veirona.
Okay.
Both of them probably completely out of breath. He is just going to stand at the edge of the group and watch on silently for the moment.
Okay, so right now we have Maple and Cloud who are down by the cart. We have Rhys at this point, Veirona and Ahzyris who are over by the now bound gnolls.
Anara's there too.
Anara is there as well. Fenn, where are you going in this?
Fenn is also making his way over towards Rhys and the gnolls, just kind of taking out his hand axe and just kind of sharpening it.
Okay.
Ahzyris, would you come over here? I know you're rather tired, but I figured you might be some help here. I was just about to ask these gnolls some questions, and then Rhys goes and slaps every single gnoll in the face to try and wake him up.
Okay, the two who were asleep and not dead, their eyes sort of flutter and they immediately begin by and gnashing their jaws at you, but realize real quickly that they are bound.
Well, so glad you could join us. So, we'll be quick about this because I really only have time for one of you to leave alive. And I was really wondering which one of you it would be. And I think that if one of you was helpful, that would make my choice a lot easier. So if you could please just go ahead and tell me what it is that you are doing here and who that was and all of that, those details. I would greatly appreciate it. And he says that in Undercommon, DM.
Okay, they look up at you and hear you speaking, but they just kind of do a... They don't seem to acknowledge understanding you.
Do you understand Common? Okay, they're useless. Let's just kill them.
No, don't. please.
Is this one of your pity things, Ahzyris, or are you going to try and get something out of him?
No. Just... He sighs. At this point, by the way, he has shrunk back down to his slumped over state. He did that right after he stopped running. I can tell you where they went, but I don't know that we'll be able to get them back. This group is not very strong.
Well, it doesn't really matter to me, to be perfectly honest. We're not even hired to do this, first of all. There's probably no money in this. And secondly, you know those people? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Do they have a lot of money, or are they otherwise worth pilfering their corpses? Because I really don't see a point in chasing after them. We've already done a very good deed. I mean, that little midget girl is already back with their family.
There are 2 others. He is going to look over at the family and just watch them for a moment.
After a few minutes, Anara is going to snap her fingers to pop Bubo into the pocket dimension, and a minute or so later, she's going to snap again and bring him back, or bring Bubo back to her, and telepathically talk to Bubo to see what she saw as she was trailing this group.
Sure. So after they had all done the second sort of blink and pop another 500 feet, they just were rushing deeper and deeper into the thicket of the wooded area, heading up into the mountains. With the trees and whatnot, Bubo was able to keep a little bit of vision on them and saw them disappear into a cave.
Okay. So when Bubo was following this group, it looks like they ducked into a cave just a little ways up. We might be able to find those kidnapped people and bring them back home.
Anara, are we running a charity now? Is that what we're doing here on the surface? Is that what you want to do? Because I suppose I'll join you, but I just really want to know if that's what we're going to be doing.
Well, if you didn't want to get involved, Rhys, we wouldn't have helped them to begin with.
Personally, I honestly was kind of excited to kill some gnolls. And that was my entire reason for, running ahead. It's better than the conversation, let's be honest. So...
You know how much I hate leaving things unfinished. I say we go after them.
All right.
Well, Ahzyris, you seem to think that a couple things I had questions about. First of all, do you know why they want these children? And why do you think that we wouldn't be able to potentially get them back? Because I can't think of anything worse than not getting them back.
I would also like to get them back if we can, but if we go back to where they are being taken, the Dragonborn that we faced was strong. It was good that she left, but there's more where we come from.
So that's one of your old pals, let's say. Maybe one of your old buds. You're familiar with them, you'd say, right?
Yes, you could say that.
And what are they going to do to those children?
The children will not be alive.
Well,
I can tell you that much.
If they're from the mountains, I would just say they probably took a page out of the tome of some giants and they're going to grind up their bones for spells or something like that. Something equally dastardly or disgusting. Whatever.
Ahzyris, do you mean they won't be alive for very much longer, or they are already lost?
Great question. Hey, DM.
Sure.
Would I happen to know if there is any specific calendar for this, or is it just sort of when we get them?
You would know that they would at minimum be brought back to home, for lack of a better term.
And I suppose, okay.
You would expect that they are still alive and would be kept alive for a period of time.
Cool. Well, I think there will probably be some time to retrieve them if we are fast and if we are careful.
Ahzyris. So say, for instance, we just want to rescue some children, right? And we go and we kill these people.
I'd rather not kill them.
Right. Oh, all right. That's probably going to happen if we go and we forcibly take things that they had stolen. That's generally how that works. I know a lot about thievery.
I understand, but if it is possible, I would like to not.
My question is, we kill these people, who are we making angry? Who do they belong to? Is this your tribe?
I've already made them angry, so you don't have anything to worry about.
I get the cart with Cloud and Maple, if it's okay to switch back.
Sure.
Cloud would like to ask the adults, were you targeted for some reason? Do you know those people?
The mother continuing to hold the child. We were just traveling. We left Misa early in the day, and we're hoping to get to Seva. We were hoping to get there before nightfall, but we didn't think we would. But no, we were just going down the road, and the arrows started, and there was a blast, and the wagon was on fire, and the horse was dead, and then Carvin fell, and they took the children. And thank you for getting Jerry back. But where are the others?
We'll find out about that. Cloud will give like a unsure look at Maple and then back towards the group up the hill and say, we'll go and talk to them. But anyway, my name is Cloud, and it was great to assist you today, just so that you know my name. And if you I'm sorry about your cart. If this helps, and Cloud will give them I don't know, 3 or 4 gold. Perhaps you can, I'm not sure if we will, it's safe to stay here right now. But if we're able to help, then perhaps we can.
Anara pulls out, while this is going on, Anara pulls out a little piece of copper wire out of her pouch and points in the direction of where she thinks Cloud is.
Okay.
And casts message.
Okay.
And sends a message to Cloud. Cloud, this is Anara. I'm a little ways away. I feel like you're wondering where I am. Anyways, looks like we're going to go after them, send them home, and we'll meet them in Misa.
Yeah, that was cool. Sure, we'll do that. Cloud will look at Maple and be like, did you hear that? Did you hear any of that?
Oh no, bud. I didn't hear any of that. I'm so sorry.
Great. Well, your weird whatever it is starting to rub off on me, I think. I'm starting to hear Anara's voice in my head. Anyways, Cloud will tell the people that, I don't know, where are you staying? We can contact you if we are successful, I suppose.
I don't know how we'll. I suppose we'll try and just get back. My Carvin's cousin has a tavern. The Mew will be there. I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. Well, be safe. You know it's going to get dark soon, so Cloud will look at Mabel. Are you ready to go back to the group?
You're just going to leave us here?
Well, coming with.
What if they come back?
It's true. I mean, we're going to go to. I think Anora's voice in my head said that we're going to maybe try to find the children. So I don't think it would be safe if you came with us. You know, like because there could be fighting.
Okay. All right. She looks at her half-dead husband, her burning cart, and just has nothing more to say.
We're so good at this.
I don't really know what we could do. I could cast healing again, but really I don't have very many spells left. I'm so sorry.
I think Maple will look up at Cloud. Hey, Bud, how about you go talk to the rest of the group and get a little bit more information if you can,
Okay.
you know.
Sure.
I'm just gonna hang out here for a minute, and she'll wink, but she doesn't really do it well. And then she'll whisper in her best whisper, I'm gonna try to keep them here. If you know what I mean, while you got to go talk to our buds. How about that?
Sure. Okay. I'll go up to the group and I'll convey everything that we learned.
Sure. All right. Easily done.
From the sounds of it, we won't be able to rescue the children, is what Ahzyris is saying. Too many numbers, too many variables, power, whatever you want to say. So if we do want to rescue the children, which I think at least the majority of us do, then maybe we help the poor civilians back to Mysa, or to Mysa. We're going there anyway. We can convene with the guards there and possibly get reinforcements, possibly get help. Turn the tide in our favor.
The downside with that is the children might be dead by the time we get back.
Or like, is it possible they may move to like a different location?
Ahzyris says that we have at least a little bit of time. Frankly speaking, I think after the fighting already done, we are all at least a little bit tapped. So to rush into, as much as I want to rescue the children, to rush into an unknown area with powerful enemies when we are not even at full strength, knowing full well that Ahzyris told us that they are more powerful than us, I think that is foolhardy at best. Maybe heroic, but
I did not know how they were more powerful than us. That is okay. Yes.
Yeah. So that is what I propose. Rhys, if you and Anara do not wish to participate, that is fine. We will. There's plenty of opportunity where we're going, so you can make your decision there.
DM, how far out from Mysa are we right now?
You are just under a half a day worth of travel. You were about 2 hours down the road in a 4-hour travel day, so you've got about another 2 hours.
we're gonna get there today? It's not getting dark or anything.
Yeah, you were 2 hours into the day. This entire encounter, including the aftermath, has probably taken you 45 minutes to figure out what is going on between the start of this and now kind of where you're at in the decision-making process. So yes, you would very easily reach it before dark.
Rhys is gonna... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Steph.
Nope, go ahead.
Rhys is gonna ask the gnolls, do you understand me? Nod your head.
Nothing.
No, nothing? Okay. Rhys is gonna look at Anara and say, we're going to kill these gnolls, right?
Ahzyris reaches over and puts a hand on his shoulder.
First of all, Ahzyris, now my rope stinks like gnoll, so I'm rather annoyed about that, just first of all. And then secondly, these gnolls are associated with the thing that you do not like, so I'm very confused about your motivations here.
You know, I was one of them, and somebody spared me. And that's why I'm here.
Right, but you speak common, so you're useful.
Your ideas of useful are very interesting.
Well, 'tis what it is. I suppose that I'm just of the worldview that no one has done me any favors. So, with these gnolls, let's say we let them go. They suddenly turn around and become gardeners, right? And then they maybe open up a floral shop? Is that what happens with these gnolls?
I would like to at least give them the chance
To
for
stab
redemption.
us when we enter the cave where we're hunting whatever old pal that you have, right? Now, if they had given me something useful, I would have spared at least one of them. But they really just are not useful. There's no deal to be made. This is how trade works. They provide me with something, I provide them with something.
Ahzyris is going to tighten his grip on Rhys's shoulder and kind of turn him around and give him a gentle push away. DM?
Hold on a second. Rhys, are you going to do that, or are you going to contest that?
Rhys is gonna feel the pressure on his shoulder, and he's going to start to move that way and just say, you're rather aggressive lately, Ahzyris. I personally don't appreciate that. And because of that, I'm taking back my rope, and these gnolls are your problem. And then he's going to untie the rope and just...
Okay.
let him go.
All right. The two now awake and unrestrained gnolls are laying there, yet not doing anything.
DM.
Yes.
Ahzyris would know what they speak?
You have not personally had gnolls in your party.
I
know
haven't,
that
correct.
others have. You...
What are they speaking?
They are speaking Gnoll.
Oh, okay.
And I know none of you knows Gnoll.
Yeah, that's why.
So, I mean, Ahzyris, if you wanted to attempt to speak to them in a language you know that you think they might, you can certainly give it a try.
Cool. Yeah, he will kneel down and attempt to speak in Orc and just say, do you understand me?
The eyes narrow at you on the knoll that you are face to face with, and you see sort of the saliva is running down the jowls a little bit more. He nods.
Mm-hmm. He is going to brush up his hair a little bit so that he shows his face just to them, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And he is going to say, "Do you recognize me?"
And
He drops his hair.
In Orc, you hear the gnoll mutter under its breath, "Traitor."
Yes. You are correct. Would you like to live?
The gnoll looks around. What do you want?
To talk.
Talk.
The world is not as we were told. It's hard to believe, I'm sure. I'm still processing it myself. I have only been out a few days, but already I have seen how different it is. He is going to motion over to the family, and he's going to say, there are a lot of things in this world that are important to people, more so than the judgment that they have given us. I have been out here for days and not a single person other than this guy, and he points over to Rhys, has been even rude to me. The difference is that I did not attack them. Judgment, sure, still exists, but it is not as we were told.
Why do I believe a traitor?
Because I stopped them from killing you.
I know how it works. You want what you want.
I want you to
Kill
try
us.
and think for yourself.
You know we killed them, right? Yours? The ones you told to leave? They sent us after them, and we killed them.
All of them?
Enough.
He's going to stand up and just turn his back and take a few steps away and in common just say, well, I tried to speak with them. Do what you want.
Rhys will execute him.
Okay. Easily done.
He'll reach forward and stab the first in the throat, and
Okay.
then the second one he'll slash.
Easily done. They fall dead at your feet.
While some of this is unfolding, I feel like Cloud would kind of lean over to Anara and just be like, I feel like there's things I'm missing here, but maybe we'll know more later. That's it.
I certainly hope so.
Okay.
Gonna kind of look over the gnolls to see if they had any information or any other things on them.
Make an investigation
Both
check.
the two. So
Yeah.
Veirona will help him with that.
Sure. Make it with advantage.
4 with advantage.
Oh, honey.
I rolled a 1 and a 2.
Okay. So
That's
the gnolls have nothing seemingly of usefulness. They have no coin in their pockets. Each of them had the bows that they were carrying and a dagger. That was about it. Their armor is just a tattered and torn leather armor and little bits of like clothing and whatnot very no boots or footwear of any sort, just their pawed feet, so to speak.
I guess that's the dice god's payback and karma for making a shot of like half a mile. I was like, well, doesn't seem like they have any information or anything else on them worth much. I guess maybe we should head on. Maybe we can grab some of those people and they can follow with us if they can keep up.
Well, Fenn, just a point of interest. Gnolls very rarely are useful in any way, shape, or form, so let's just keep that in mind in the future, shall we?
Well, you never know what somebody has on them at times, but yeah, I don't have any particular fondness for kidnappers or child murderers.
The mongrels.
Well, apparently the way the justice system works here is you don't bring them in alive anyways, so we should at least take
Get
proof.
that. Yeah.
What
Well,
did the bartender say? Ears? That doesn't seem very
Ears.
safe.
I struggle to imagine a place on the surface that would, I don't know, give some gnolls a proper hearing about their wrongdoings. So anything that we've given them is really just a mercy. And Ahzyris here, our merciful representative, did try, so I suppose there's that.
All right. Well, you've been such a ray of sunshine, Rhys. Cloud is going to head down to the cart and start helping the family get ready for the journey the rest of the way. I'm assuming that if the guy can't walk, maybe somebody could carry him, or I could cast another healing spell. I don't know.
Go ahead, Veirona.
Well, I was just gonna say, is he still injured?
He is injured. He
Okay.
is stable. He is breathing. He is moving, but he is definitely injured.
Okay.
Basically, when he ripped the arrow out of his neck, he re-injured himself.
Got it. Okay. As innocently as possible,
Mhm.
Veirona is going to, once she sees that he's injured, just go over, pat him on the back a couple times, and she's going to use healing hands to restore 3 points of health.
Okay, so you see him sort of as you pat his back, he sort of shivers a little bit, and he straightens up a little bit.
It's
and
okay. It's okay.
Looks.
There you are. Yeah.
Thank you. And manages to. He's now sort of taking in the carnage around him, the burnt cart, the dead horse, the everything. He doesn't say anything more than the thank you he gave you. He's very quiet.
Look, I know that there is things that are going to be hard to take in, but we need to get out of here. We need to keep you as safe as possible. So you are free to come along with us, or you can stay here if there's still things you need to do. But we really need to get going.
He looks up the hill and looks back at the remains of his life and just looks down to his wife and let's go with them. Let's get home.
All right.
We'll head there.
Let's get to Misa.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all get back on the road. You travel for roughly another 2 hours. Same marching order?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Fenn and Rhys, give me perception rolls.
You got it, DM.
Fenn!
2 on Rhys.
Okay.
I don't know what's up with this. I don't know. This has to be bugged. Like, what's going on here?
Just to say so, for the fact
I
of saying
rolled
so,
3
Mabel did
times
go
a
back
2.
for her axe.
Okay. Fully expected that, but yes.
24 for Fenn.
Okay, Fenn, as you are coming down the road, you begin to see sort of coming into view an open area, sort of the tree line opening up, the main road heading into what you would know to be Mysa from your understanding of the geography and whatnot. In the distance, you can see, maybe 100 or so buildings, some of them quite small, handful of medium ones, couple of larger buildings. You've never spent any time in Mysa, but you've been past it enough where you know full well that you are coming into Mysa. Rhys, you are busy still smelling Knoll on your rope and are very distracted.
Fucking gnolls.
Well, I think we're here. I don't know much about the city, about Mysa, but I think we're here. And yeah, Rhys, it's hard to get the smell out once it gets in there sometimes.
So coming into town, Carvin, the father, who thus far has not had much to say, looks around the group and sort of looks to Fenn because he's been in front, and just thank you. I don't know if you need a place to stay, but we will be going to my cousin's. He would probably, I would ask him to put you up in the inn if you need a place.
Well, that'd be really helpful. I don't really know Mysa. I take it y'all from here.
We from just outside the town. We were headed east. Sorry.
Well, what's the name of this establishment? Maybe you can give us some directions.
You can come with us. We can take you there. It's the Mew, is the place. Quarrel is my cousin. Yellow Crane. I'm sorry. I'm Carvin Yellow Crane. Quarrel is my cousin. It's his place. There are other places to stay, but I believe he would. It's nothing fancy, but he would likely give you lodging for what you've done for us.
Well, I think at least knowing that, I don't think none of us really know about Mysa, so I appreciate that offer. But also, do you know whether there are any local authorities too? Because while we're happy to drop you off, I think some of us still wanted to alert people that there's some child killers.
He nods and he points, and right in the middle of, sort of as you come into town, the road sort of widens out into what in a large city would be like a town square. This is more of a wide spot in the road, but centered there is a large a relatively large two-story building that looks very much like a small version of the governor's home and the Houses of Parliament in Hosties that you had seen. And he points to it and says, well, that's the mayor's home. That would be where you would go.
Well, let me relay that real quickly to my companions and see whether we want to join you later or go directly there. And then Fenn kind of turns and mentions, place to stay, sure. Cousin, tavern,
yep.
Authorities.
Ben, can you ask him if he knows where the Red Boar Inn is?
Well, sure. Do you need a translator or?
Well, that's where. Well, you were just talking to him. I figured I'd let you keep talking to him. But that's
Well,
where we were supposed to meet that the archaeologist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure I can ask. Sorry, I just was. I'm not.
He
used to
overhears
people...
all of this, speaking common, and looks at Anara like, well, okay, sure. And he points, and there's a 2-story building. The second story hangs a solid 10 feet out over the first story. A red slate roof. The building is very nice. It is a whitewashed stucco with these very thick wooden beams, shutters on all of the windows, a large wraparound porch. This place is clean and looks sharp, and it is one of the larger buildings in town. He points to it, and there is a large boar's head above the door.
I like this building already.
It's right there.
Thank you, Carvin. I think we might want to be staying here tonight. What do you guys think?
I think
Little too
Anara.
early to.
I have a DM question. What
Yes.
Time of day is it by the time we get back? Is this like a... I'm just kind of wondering like, if there's time to go talk to other people or not.
It's getting into afternoon, so it's
Okay.
not dark yet by any stretch of the imagination. You only had a half day's travel to begin with, so call it 2
I'm okay
p.m.
with either, just so you know.
Well, we already have business here. Might as well stay here at the same time.
I was just thinking, and pardon me for thinking, but what if the mayor was paying bounties for, child kidnappers, let's say? Crazy thought.
Was about to say it. We have more important things to worry about right now than where you're going to spend the evening. So I'm going to head to the mayor's office. Ahzyris, if you could come along, it seems you have intimate knowledge. Might be useful.
We do have some unfinished killing to do, I suppose, so might as well enable our friends, I think, Anara.
Might as well.
Ahzyris will go with Veirona.
Okay.
We all go.
All right. So you all head
I don't know.
over to the mayor's house. Posted on the mayor's front door are a series of papers and notices. The first of them says, "Condottieri needed, inquire within, gold." The second, "Freelances for mine clearing, Elrond's gems, reward." The last says, "Laborers needed, Temple of the Raven Queen." Are
Okay.
we just knocking on the door?
Yep.
Okay. You knock on the door, Veirona. A moment or so goes by. The door opens. Yes? There's a
Yes, hello.
small man.
We are just a group of travelers. We were attacked on the way here, or found an attack, I should say. We just wanted to let you know about the appearance of gnolls and the kidnapping of children and so on and so forth. See if either we could provide aid or information enough for you to handle the problem yourself, so on and so forth.
One moment, and he goes to walk away and come in. I will see if the mayor is available. And he escorts you into the building.
Perfect.
It's a nice house. It's a very nice house. Well managed, well appointed. He places you into a parlor. Is everybody going in, or just Veirona?
Anara will go in.
Ahzyris will go in.
Is the
Yeah,
family
Rhys.
still with us?
They have not followed you.
Okay.
Yeah, they probably went to the end. Oh, I'll go in. I'll go in.
Okay. So,
Well, Maple's following Cloud, so.
all right. So, everybody that goes in and is standing there. A few moments go by, and a very tall, about 6 foot tall, elven man. Fenn, you would immediately recognize him from his facial structure and his bearing as a high elf. Comes walking in. His clothing is just absolutely beautiful. It's these deep, dark blues with veins of green running through them, and he comes walking in. And as you've been waiting, you all realize that this place smells clean in a way that no place you've ever been before has an aroma. Veirona, you would recognize this from days gone by, but none of you have experienced a place like this since you've been on the road at all. You've all become sort of accustomed to the smell and the sort of mustiness of sweaty, filthy, road-weary people. This place has none of that. And as you look around, you can see that any bit of furniture has a shine to it. There are cut flowers in a bowl. Like this place, you know you're in a different place. And he comes walking in and regards the group of you. What is this my dog's body tells me of? An ambush?
Yes, apologies on the intrusion. We were traveling to Mesa today, and we came across a ambush. A number of gnolls, dragonborn, a few cloaked figures. They kidnapped a number of children, and we wish to inform you personally so that we could either be of assistance or just provide enough information that you'd be able to send the required force or so on and so forth needed.
Were there survivors?
Yes, there were a mother, a father, one of the halfling children, the rest, but not entirely sure.
Where are the survivors?
They were taken. I believe Anara and Ahzyris. I will be able to provide you with a more accurate location.
They were all taken?
There's some at the Red Bull Inn.
No.
They're at the Muse Inn.
It was an Alvin Yellow something and his family.
He looks at you from all right. How many of them returned here?
Was it 3?
It was the parents and one of the children. The other two were the ones that were taken.
I see. And he looks at those of you. I assume you are looking for work?
Give our appearances, we're bounty hunters actually, and if you could pay us, that would be great, because that's really what we're looking for, and we can provide you a service, you give us some money, everyone's happier, your community is safer, all of that.
I certainly have need of bounty hunters.
Wonderful. What are you paying?
Not so fast. And he looks back to Fenn and says to you in Elvish, who are these two? Pointing to Rhys and Anara.
My name is Anara, and this is Rhys.
Yes, a lot of us speak Elvish, unfortunately.
Wonderful.
Go ahead, Anara.
He looks back to Fenn. Who are these two?
You want to know who I am? Ask me directly.
No, let him be a little racist if he wants to be. It's his home. We're here. Go on, you two.
He looks to you, Anara. There are more than one ambush that happens on this side of the mountains from our cousins. Why am I to believe that this is not your responsibility?
Because
The three gnolls we left behind would be a perfect example of why we are not the ones that perpetrated this ambush.
And really, it was rather sloppy work, so if you were to go and view it, I mean, you would obviously see that it's not the work of professionals, and clearly you would know that true elf work is a lot more, it's cleaner, it's tighter, it's not so haphazard.
At your phrase, true elf, he just sort of rolls his eyes and he looks to Fenn once again. I will assume that you are working with these people for a reason. Where did this happen?
Well, it happened a couple hours east of here. I have been traveling with these two for the past 2 or 3 days. We had encountered each other, and the mannerisms are a bit different, but they have helped defend and protect, and we have fought alongside each other. And what they say regarding the gnolls is true, except maybe that elaboration about how clean certain people are.
The family has gone to Yellow Crane's Inn?
Yes, when we came in, Arvin was a halfling gentleman, mentioned that and told us that we could find them there if we needed lodging or anything else. But that they headed there, but we wanted to immediately come here and talk to you to kind of inform you in case you weren't aware. Their other 2 children, unfortunately, we were unable to recover.
That is unfortunate. What is it you seek of me in this? What do you need from me?
I think we wanted to, first of all, make sure that you're aware. 2, to know if this has been a recurring problem, and there seems to be, if there's a chance to save these children, perhaps there's others that could join in, or if you have a city guard or something that can go out and we can give you directions towards where that area was. I think that was our primary interest in coming here. Of course, as my traveling companion, my not always diplomatic travel companion said, we are looking for work, and it's one of the reasons we came here. And they have been, while at times a bit awkward, steadfast in what they've done with this odd assortment we seem to have gathered around us.
He relaxes a little bit in his looking at Anara and Rhys and says to the assembled group, we are a small city. We are not like the capitals. We don't have a guard of any significant sorts. We have a handful of militia folk, but no one who is up for kind of work you're talking about. They deal with petty thieves in town. Yes, there have been attacks on the road. Bandits, normally. I've never heard of children being kidnapped before. This is a significant turn of events. I do have work, but this is not... I thought you were bringing me a bandit problem. I can't give you an immediate answer on this. I don't have the resources to send with you. There are...
Do I believe him?
Make a...
Insight.
Yeah, we'll make an insight check.
Did we know his name? Did anyone ask yet?
I don't believe anybody has asked.
The 16.
You absolutely believe him.
Okay.
As soon as he says, can't give you an immediate answer, Rhys will turn to Anara and says, well, I suppose those children are going to die.
Okay.
Cool.
We are on a bit of a tight schedule. We have limited information, but we believe that we might be able to rescue them. So you are saying that there's nothing, no reinforcements, nothing that you could provide us to help in taking on this new threat that we have informed you of.
I have no resources to give you. However, there are other folks like yourselves who come through town seeking work. Many of them hang out at the Vagabond. If you want to try and rally some reinforcements, perhaps they can help you.
All right, last question then. How much would a contract involving, let's say, at least 5 powerful individuals, as well as potentially reinforcing gnolls, and the rescuing of 2 children, how much gold does that give us to find companions?
What has the family offered you?
The family would need to pay us.
Yes.
Let's phrase this in a slightly different way. What would it run you for us to safeguard your roads into Mysa and out of Mysa?
If you have evidence of the work that you've done, we can negotiate. What do you have?
Did anybody by chance cut off any ears or anything?
That we did.
I think you've made your point.
Now,
You don't care.
if
so
you
let's-
need work, I have work for you. There's money to be made.
Money is not the issue. Very well. Okay. What was the place that we could find allies? The Viper Pit?
The Vagabond?
The Vagabond.
The Vagabond.
And your name is?
Rylith. Rylith Summershade. I am the mayor.
Rylith?
Rylith.
Well, I guess we will be going now, Rylith. It is too bad that your words are not as nice as your house. And Cloud will walk out.
Okay.
Appreciate the candid conversation. You have a wonderful haircut as well. And then Rhys is going to turn to leave.
Okay. Everybody
People
following
call
along,
Cloud
or?
out. Mm-hmm.
Anara's going to stay behind for a minute
Okay.
and say to Rylith in Elvish, as a mayor, you are doing a piss poor job of taking care of your citizens. you might want to consider that. And she turns around and leaves.
Hold on. Make an intimidation check.
That would be a big whopping 3.
Okay. Before you are able to turn around and leave, he leans in, not getting into your personal space, but he leans in. You need to understand something. You and your cousins cause quite a bit of difficulty on this side of the mountain. Now, I'm sorry if you do not care for how I run my town, but you have no idea what happens down here. How it handles in Istalan is different. If you want more of what happens in Istalan, you should return there. You should go to Antar. This is neither of those places. Now,
No, this is your home.
if you need work, there is work here. I did not send these people out to travel the roads. I have not encouraged them to do this. They know the risks they take when they leave. We are responsible for what happens in this town. When you spend a little more time outside of the mountains, perhaps you will understand how things work here in the Politia. You may go.
Anara leaves.
Okay.
Walks up to Rhys and says in Undercommon, well, that guy was a bit of an ass.
I don't know what you were expecting. He's obviously only looking out for himself, and I personally don't blame him, but
As
that's
most
how-
high elves do.
well, that's how things are on the surface. I mean, most people are just looking out for themselves, and everybody's killing each other, and you know, it's another day on the surface.
Ahzyris says in Undercommon, you know you're adding to that. The killing. Everyone.
Well, that's right. That's right. I have no problem with that.
I'm imagining the rest of us just standing around being like, not knowing what's going on.
Awkward.
Oh.
Cloud's cleaning one paw furiously. Stress
So
cleaning.
What was it? The vagabond? That's perfect for us, really, because that's more or less what we are. I suppose we should go over there and find a better job offer.
Well, speaking of jobs, we might as well try the Red Boar Inn.
Yes, can
That was
we-
a pretty
yeah.
well-paying job, if I remember correctly.
Do we not care about?
Are you not concerned?
Of course I'm concerned, but we do need a little rest.
I don't
But
think we have much time for that.
yeah, I'm a little confused. We're talking about new jobs, but are we just abandoning the children, or do we
Of
want
course
to try?
not. Of course not.
Well,
But I
as
figure we're here. We might as well at least talk to the archaeologist before we
Yes.
head back out.
Also, the reality is, if Ahzyris, what you're saying is true, they are stronger than us, and we have already had a combat. I mean, I don't have as many spells, so
Well-
it
Saying
seems like it would be a bad decision.
Well,
I'm
is,
saying don't sleep.
Sorry, go for it.
That's you.
Ahzyris, I hate to ask this, but are you saying that? Did you say that because they are that much stronger than us, or just because of your aversion to killing?
No, it's because at least a few of them are very strong.
Okay, and then turn it
Around-
around.
Oh, I was
Well,
just
how many do we need?
Let's slow down a moment here, please. We don't have the money nor the influence to raise an army to chase some mages across the land to rescue children we don't even care about personally. Like, what's the point? What's the point of rescuing these random children so we can go and do charity elsewhere as well? That's not.
Sometimes, Rhys, I wish I could read your mind. Truly
I don't-
understand exactly what it is that goes on and propels you. Because if you're not willing to lay down your life or to attempt to help children, then frankly,
I
why
think
are
I
you
did.
trying to
I
help
think I
anyone?
did earlier today, and I showed that. However, then they vanished, and then they appeared a league away. And then I said to myself, I don't know anyone who can do that. Therefore, they must be extremely powerful. Therefore, I'm going to fucking die if I chase them. That's what I said to myself. If you want to read my thoughts, that's what I thought. Now, let's be realistic about what we're doing here, which is, first of all, let's get a reasonable job that we can accomplish and get a little bit of money, because that's what we're here for. We're not here as a charity event. If you all want to go and do that, by all means, go and do that. But it won't be with me, and I'm fairly sure Anara is not that foolish either.
Speak for
Very well.
yourself, brother. Remember what father did for you when you were but a wee babe.
I well know everything that father did for me, and you don't need to lecture me in front of strangers.
We're going after the children.
Speaking of this, I mean, like, as much as I think that Rhys is kind of a toot in the way he says everything, this spell I have never heard of. So, like, does anyone even know it? Like, how powerful is it? That they would jump through space.
Oh yeah.
Ahzyris, you would know that it's Dimension Door.
Yeah. Which I'm trying to remember what level spell that is.
Level 4.
Okay.
Level 4.
I would assume Rhys would also be familiar with how powerful you would have to be, just have it with his background. But
Yeah, you would know that it's something that you can't do, and that you've seen powerful people not do that.
Well, I'm going to make it very simple. I'm going to head in the direction of the vagabond. I'm going to use what money I have available to me to hire individuals to help rescue the children. Clearly, we don't have time. And if you're willing to help, then follow. If you're not willing to help, then, as I said before, we are but strangers. We've got to Misa. We said every single way, or at least I did, you do not have to follow. So if you do not want to, you do not want to. You two, there is no disrespect when I say if you are unwilling to participate, if you are scared, if you do not want to be involved, that is fine. That is 100% fine. You're probably smarter for it, but unfortunately, this is not something I can turn a blind eye to.
Likewise. I'm with you, Veirona.
Very well. Fenn, if you could provide me with the directions, this,
And she reaches into her coin purse, hands him 3 gold.
that is the agreed upon payment. Anything else that you do from this point on is your own choice. There is no sway. So, if you could just give me the directions to Vagabond, or if you know.
I don't know where the Vagabond is. I'm sure we can probably find out by asking pretty quick and take the gold and put it down. And I'd at least like to go there and hear if there is others that could help. If this is super dangerous, at least we should know about it going in so people can decide. But we should also, I guess, make sure we're well rested and have as much support as we can. I was really hoping the mayor would have a guard or something, but I guess that's not an option.
I was too. But how strong they are, that is a conversation for us to have, well, whoever is joining us, to have with Ahzyris. So, allies first, sleep second, and then, Ahzyris, I apologize, but I said we wouldn't pry. It seems the hand is forced there.
He just nods.
And that is where we will wrap up for this evening. So, thank you all for joining us this evening. For those of you who are around on Saturday, we will be doing our live stream Saturday with a roundtable from our cast talking about Dungeons and Dragons and how it plays into the real world on some levels. So, again, thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you hanging out with us this evening. We will see you next Wednesday for our next adventure in Umbranthal. We'll see y'all soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.